morning, Vietnam, or good morning, America. Depending on where you're at, we have a lot of Marines out here watching us tonight. How's everybody doing? How's it shaking? How you doing? I hope you're doing well, saving the country. Reggie from Boston has some interesting stuff talking about how Star Trek Spock's home planet, which is Planet X, has finally been discovered. Has it really been a fiction planet or show, or was there a lot of truth to some of the stuff without them realizing it, or did they kind of already realize it? That's something you'll have to look at. Another thing that Reggie from Boston put out and shared on his channel is the British and the French planes uh, are scrambled to shadow Russia planes. So I don't know what that's about, but you have to look into all that's going on there with that. Also, 81 channels Elisa Haven put out today is something a must watch video. Bang! A list of 81 Patriot channels are targeted for online removal. The censorship, folks. This list has made it to the public realms. It's out on the internet. You can view to see who's on there. It says now made public. It says report tells all about what channels they plan to remove. Now, it goes into detail to talk about like whatever you believe. Like say if you have people on, like say if you have people on from the Black Lives Matter movement or Black Panthers, and you're discussing something that they put you in a racist ideology because you're talking to them about how to, that you're against what they believe are their ideology. So then they kind of category and put you in the same group as being a racist or white or black supremacist, even though you had them on your show, even though you're not, you're just discussing why they're doing this stuff and why there's differences in what you're trying to get down to the bottom. So they kind of put you in that same association, and they try to put you in with real historical people in the same category as you see some people have been labeled that, like Alex Jones and all. That's why he was removed off the air because of the way they were doing him with how they were labeling him and race baiting him and putting him in as a. They're calling us. They're calling us social media people as anti-media influencers. That's what they're calling us, which means code for conservative or independent news. Our ideologies are not ideologies. It's just us telling the truth. And a lot of these people just don't like it, on our show. They don't like it that we're telling the truth, about things, and they just want to try to cancel our broadcast uh, because of the fact of what we believe in, and they're against that. See, um, and it bothers me because we shouldn't be like that because all people should have freedom of speech, and anybody that's for freedom of speech is against the narrative of the you're against the establishment, in other words, according to them, to their ideologies or what they believe, because that's really what they are. They really have the ideologies because they're trying to shut independent news and conservatives up because they don't want that getting out because it blows and exposes all the evil and all the corruption, all the lies that they're doing. That's why they want to shut us up and shut us down any way they can and ban us off the internet. That's really what's behind all that, folks. If you can't see that, hopefully that gives you some idea what's going on there. Um, from Dabu 7, Colorado meat packer plant recalls a large amount or number of ground beef after E. coli death was one E. coli death and a bunch of people got sick. So check that video out from Dabu 7. Um, Also, alternative media influence is what that really is. YouTube censorship, a manifesto rebutted. So find out what that's about. It's just from the other side on how they're pushing it. Alex Jones, the full show, Thursday night, 9/20/2018. It's Infowars.com is where it comes from. Um, check that out. You can go to our Facebook page here at Michael J. DeSilvis to look at that. Um, Also, high level. This is from Dabu77 channel. This is high level emergency due to lots of toxins and poisons that are found in South and North Carolina waters. Coal ash has been found from nuclear couple plants in North Carolina, and Duke Energy is being sued, or there are going to be some suing going on because that's an environmental thing. And there's lots of different lawsuits are definitely going to be coming out of this. I guarantee you that, folks. Um, there's a big alert at North Carolina power plant after flood waters have inundated from the lake there surrounding there has inundated. So that's going to be some situation. The deplorals actually, and comes from Next News Network. Um, from Mr. Frenchie. He's a real good guy. I know he tells good news, and I like the way he tells it. It's stout. The Plurals have come up with a new choir. They have a choir, and they have a new song that's called "Vote Republican" this year. When you go to the election polls, all people that want to stand for peace and freedom of speech, and freedom of firearms, and religion, and all that, all the above, all the other things too that come along with it, vote Republican this year. They will make your day and look out for you in the future. I'm going to add that. The War Room also from InfoWars Thursday show right here on Facebook. You can look at it on our page. Just click on it. It'll take you right to it. It's encrypted and everything, so you can go right to it. InfoWars, uh, talking about some real issues that are happening, probably some of the stuff with censorship. And then Liberty had a grand finale that went on earlier today, tonight, I should say, um, with some candidate polls and what they want to do. And, because elections are this November. So that'd be something to take a look at. And that's just some of the headlines we have there in the news. We also want to tell you that there has been a lot of livestock, over 2 million animals have died with pigs, chickens, and turkeys. And of course, that's going to probably cause the prices on these items to go up. Now, you might not see that happen right away, but it may happen in probably November. I'm going to say probably is when we'll see an increase a little bit. Now, as far as how much it goes up, who knows? I mean, but it's going to happen, folks, because of all this stuff that's happened. Because North Carolina actually supplies a lot of the nation with a lot of its poultry and hams. A lot of people like ham and stuff. They will be supplying that there, and you can actually go and they actually supply a lot of chicken and turkeys to a lot of places throughout the up and down the northeast and southeast coast and Midwest and out west in certain areas. So they're a big supplier. A lot of people don't realize that, but a lot of damages have been done. There's a lot of waste and fecal matter of both human and animal feces that's been discovered in the rivers and tributaries where it's actually gotten in there by the flooding. So that's a big, huge mess. It's going to have to be cleaned up. It's going to take a long time to clean all this stuff up. But, it will probably all just water its way out to the ocean like it does and dilute gradually, because it's not something that they're going to be able to totally remove, but the environment actually will take care of all this stuff eventually with the rain and everything, and it'll just kind of wash it out to sea. And other animals down the chain will eat it and get rid of it. Now, as far as the solvents and the chemicals and that have been found in some lakes and rivers by the flooding near the factories where these chemicals were found, now that's something they're going to have to remove out of the water, because that stuff's not supposed to be in natural rivers and lakes. So it's just something we got to really pray about, that it doesn't contaminate all the drinking water south of us in North Carolina, and it doesn't contaminate the water in South Carolina. And because of the solvents and poisons that have been discovered in the water, that is very poisonous, some of these things. And we don't know what's going to do the impact to the ecosystems and the environment, in the future impacts of what it's going to do or what it could cause. We have no idea what the scope of this could do, but in some areas it's pretty bad. So, to say the least, on that. Also, I want to give you an update on the people that are without power. There's about almost 200,000 people in North Carolina statewide that are without power. South Carolina, a little bit over 100,000 people. Virginia, about 60,000 people without power. So the power definitely is getting turned on by Duke and by Dominion Energy up north and things, and other co-ops are doing their job to get the best to get it all on. So that's good. So anyway, we are independent news, so I'm sure we're probably on that list because a lot of people share our channel and watch our channel. So I'm sure we'll probably be on the list too. Hey, welcome to you who's on here. It's good to see you tonight. If you have anything you'd like to say that is positive, you can go ahead and go up to the chat room and I'll actually talk to you if you want to type something in. Uh, Otherwise, you can just listen to what we're talking about tonight. Glad that you joined here for a few minutes. Um, if you would like to subscribe to our channel, you can just hit the subscribe button at below this video when it's finished. I don't know if you can do that now or not. I think you can. And if you're already a subscriber, then you don't need to do it. But if it's red, you can go ahead and hit that little thing there, and you'll become the subscriber. We have 38 subscribers on this channel, and we're thankful for that. And we're hoping that people will donate because we are a nonprofit organization here, giving you the news as it really is and telling you the truth, stuff that is not always told on regular TV or radio. We've seen lots of military, talk with a couple of military folks. We really are supporters of the military and Navy and the Coast Guard. I've seen all branches of service just about coming through here in Washington. And I've talked with a few of them, and they're really doing a good job, and we're really happy and proud that they're in our area and making a difference and helping people out. Trump did come by here, as we said yesterday in our transmission, and he went to Fayetteville and went to New Bern, and went to Wilmington, North Carolina, where the most devastation is. And he was out handing out food at a Baptist church in Auburn yesterday. And he even came by here to Washington, North Carolina, yesterday and spoke with the mayor. So I think that mayor we have here in Washington is really a real good conservative mayor, and I think he's doing a wonderful job, the best that he can. I think he really does care about the people, from what I've seen, and I think Washington is a really nice place to live and a real nice place to grow. But like I said, half of Beaufort County does have some flooding, while the other half does not. About half the county, or I would say about 75% of people in Beaufort now, or 80% of people, let me look at the map here. You can't see it, but I can. Shows that they have power. So that's good news, but some of the areas where the flooding is, where the river's out of its banks in the lower areas, and some of the areas here in Beaufort are experiencing flooding in some areas still. But that's probably going to go down Saturday. And like New Bern, the rivers will probably crest Saturday to the highest levels, and then they'll just gradually go down from there. But it's not going to go down real fast. And don't think, well, the river's crested, so it's time to come back to my home and check it out. Now, it's going to take about 3 or 4 days, or maybe a week in some areas, before roads can be passable, because a lot of them still have debris in them. Some roadways still are covered with water too, in some of those real low areas, especially near the river and stuff. So just kind of check ahead before you come back to your area to check out your house and your apartments, because we want you to be safe in your homes and condos and things and your businesses. We want you to be safe most importantly, and we don't want you to, go into areas where there's water and it's a lot deeper because the road washed out underneath there. It's how a lot of fatalities. Oh, the fatalities have gone up to 45 in all states that have been impacted by the storm of Florence. 45 deaths so far, and that number probably will go up even more, sadly to say. But I would say 45 deaths is a lot, but it is still really low. But it is, but it is sad that these people have died, unfortunately. And a lot of it was related to doing like dumb things like driving in water that's too deep, because a lot of people will do that without listening and, turning around because they're so anxious to get to their homes. They're willing to risk their life and limb to get there, when that possessions can be replaced, people. But you, like a snowflake, how every one of them is different, you're just like that too. You're very special and unique, all of us are. So you are more important than all your possessions. You got to remember that. Your children are more important too. So you don't want to go down there and risk your life and limb just to go down there to go back. That's why authorities are telling you to stay away for a few more days and let the water go down. And then you can come back. You might be surprised that maybe your home or business did not get flooded, even though a lot of people did. But you may be more fortunate. And I saw some trees hit some houses as videos. I released some of that on Facebook a couple of days ago, showing the aftermath and all, drone videos and all. And I know they're not me. I didn't shoot those because that would be illegal. I would get arrested because They won't let news people fly drones up in the air to get a bird's eye view. You got to get a special kind of permit or have that worked out with the area with certain type of qualifications you got to get to be able to do that as a media organization, which we don't have. So no, we filmed, we used or shared other people's drone footage from news media outlets who have got the permissions and approval, right permits to do it. So we just kind of just link those people on my Facebook channel or page, and we let you see that. And so hopefully that'll help explain things a little bit more there. I want to say hi to the Shields, John, Jeremy, and Stephen, and Beth Ann. How you all doing, sweeties? Miss you so much. I miss your parents too. Hope everything's going good up there in Mechanicsville. I heard y'all had a little scare there with the tornadoes on Monday night, and where they were up in the sky. They're not a tornado unless they touch the ground. But yet it's still an ominous sight when you see a funnel cloud spinning above your school. So I know that was very scary for some of you. I heard about that. So I'm just glad that y'all are all right and your mother and everybody was okay too. Uh, yeah, during that time. So that was great to hear. Um, but and one thing, y'all are okay too, and that's good, and that's awesome, really. And and all of us that really have come out of the situation, we have a lot to be thankful for that we take for granted. All this stuff that's going on where they're trying to tie us in with media channels, like say if we have people on that have a different view than us, it's called the alternative media influence, which really what they're saying is conservative media there, code. That's really what they're saying. So they just say alternative media influence. They talk about us, really, which is wrong because we have a view. We're not speaking ideologies. We're just speaking the truth, and that's why it's an ideology to these cats because they don't like us, spoiling their plots and their plans and their evil and deception, and we just expose it all the time. And they don't like that, so they say, "Hey, racist! Oh, you fascist! Oh, you Marxist!" And they don't even know what the words mean because really, when they say that about us, they're really talking about themselves because they want to shut us down so that they can be able to speak whatever they want. But yet we can't speak a word, but they're allowed to speak whatever they want. We're not allowed to go after Muslims for what they believe, but yet they can talk about us and bash Christians all day long. It's kind of funny, isn't it? But yet if we go after them, shoot, we got hell to pay. And that's wrong because that's not freedom. I mean, if they can say something about us, we should be able to say stuff about them in a rational, ideal way, not to start a riot, but now if you're saying stuff violent, that's different. Like you make a threat towards a person or a particular religious group, that's different. But if you're saying stuff about what you don't agree with, but how they act or how they follow Allah when really they should be following Jesus, that's a true statement. That's a biblical statement. It's a fact, you know. But see, if you say that about Muslims, then they get all upset. But it's all right for them to bash Christians all day long and kill them in different countries and all, and go after them, and But yet, if we say something about them about what they believe because it's incorrect and it's not biblical, then they want to bash us. It's really crazy. And then they want to associate all conservative media with all these other racists and leftists and white supremacy and black supremacy groups just because we have somebody on speaking to them about it because we don't agree with it, trying to find out or to understand why they have the position or premise of position of thought of why they say what they say. It's really crazy. But that's what they're trying to do to us. And they have like 81 channels that, like I said earlier, if you've seen some of the headlines where I was talking about that on, what I shared tonight on Facebook with some of these independent news people that we share, because this is what we support. And we also share their content all the time because it's so important. You need to watch those videos because it will educate you on a whole lot of things that aren't being talked about on the regular news. That'll show you what's really going on because a lot of it's being filtered through the regular dinosaur media, regular public mainstream news. That's why we call it that, because they filter everything out. They don't tell the truth. And then they want to sit around and say, we're the real news, when yet they don't even give you real news at all. A lot of times they just tell you lies. They don't really tell you the real truth about anything, but yet they want to claim they're real news. It's really crazy. But anyway, to say the least. But anyway, weather looking pretty good down in North Carolina. It's supposed to get warmer over the weekend. It's going to feel like summer-like. But now it feels like fall out there. It's in the low 70s, upper 60s here tonight. It's ideal weather. You can probably turn off your air because the humidity is low, 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 hello, and you can open up the windows down here because usually it's too hot to open up the windows, but you could probably do that tonight and let that nice fresh air come on in. Then you turn your air on tomorrow, when it gets hotter during the day, because it gets really hot and a little humid during the day when you're near the river, because we're close to the river, and you can really feel the humidity spike up, even though say the humidity is low. But not at night, it feels great. It felt really nice walking down to the store, the gas station tonight, when I went down there to get me some Starbucks coffees. I love those things. So, y'all want to donate, you can donate a few of those to me, send them to me, ship them to me. I'll give you my address if you call me up. Call me up if you can't get me. If you don't have internet, you call me up. My number is 252 623 1573. I'd love to hear from you. You hear some input from you. Now, I don't want some jokes or some nuts calling me, but somebody's rational. You got ideas and you're like minded and you want to share ideas to help improve this podcast. I would love to hear from you guys because you're really the nuts and bolts of why we do this stuff, folks. And there's only one person watching right now, but more people usually view this thing after it goes off the air. But I hope more people will watch it when we're on air. I know it's kind of late, but it's like that all the time. It don't matter when I go on the air because of all the shadow banning and censorship. So some of y'all might get my notifications while some of y'all might not get it because of all the shadow banning. And they're doing that to everybody. So it's just all across the board. Democrat. Oh, two. Then it went down to zero. Look at that. So that's just what they're doing. But we lost all two people. I guess when I started singing, they didn't like it. Two. Then it went to nothing. So, somebody was just watching. But, pray for us, donate, hit the subscribe button, share our videos, spread them far and wide. And pray for our country. This country really needs a lot of prayer, folks, more than you know. And pray for all the people that are down here in the South and North Carolina and parts of Virginia and Georgia and West Virginia where a lot of flooding is. And pray that the people will help the people and rescue people and do whatever they can to help them have some type of normalcy, even though it's going to not be quite normal in the areas where it's been really ravaged for a long time. So, but just hope that everybody will be patient, both the people that have been impacted and also the people that are actually out here doing the rescue efforts, that they're here to serve and to help these people and they should not lose their focus. National Guard and Navy, all these people need to be calm and remember that you're here to help the people, and that's why you're here. And they really need the help. And you getting angry or trying to take control, but you're not here to order people around. You're just here to help people, to locate people, to rescue people, and that's all the main objective is. And that's all it should really be about. And that's what we got to remember. And another thing I want to say is that I think it's so good that we have criminals that have done things wrong and have done time, and they're free and they want to make a difference. I met somebody up at the store tonight, and he seems like a really nice guy. And I think that he could do whatever he wants because he's a young guy. He learned his lesson. He said he's not going back to jail anymore. And he's a really bright guy, and he's really nice. And I really believe him. I said, that's good. That's a good attitude to have. I said, don't ever lose that attitude. Because a lot of times when you get out of prison, it's so easy to fall back into what you were doing. And the whole thing is what I want to say to you, Al, if you're contemplating that, don't do it. Don't do it. Because that is what you don't want to do. You want to be encouraged to keep doing the right thing. Because I know it's hard out there and it's so easy to fall back into crime. So tempting because that's where a lot of money came in. But, eventually you get caught again and you'll be back in jail. And you don't want to do that. So you want to try to do like with that guy, the dude up at the store has a real good attitude. I like his attitude. And that's the way everybody should be. You have that kind of attitude where they don't want to go back to jail and they're not going to go back because they're smart and they learned their lesson and they're going to make a difference and they're going to, have a good positive attitude and they're going to find a job and doors are going to open up. Because even though you may have a record, okay, I want to say this to all the criminals that have gotten out of prison tonight and who are free and that are just gotten out of jail or out of the state pen. You might be free and yet you had a good attitude and you have a good attitude and you have a good mood set. But days, as the days go on, there's going to be times where you're going to have low periods, with your moods and all. But you got to remember not to lose that attitude. And remember to keep your mind open and keep on your knees. If you go on the church, you need to get to a church anywhere. As soon as you get out of jail, you need to get hooked into a church. If you were already going to church in prison every week. You need to do that outside of jail because that'll help open up other doors to you. Where otherwise, if you just go through the system, there's not going to be a lot of jobs for you to do if you have a criminal record. But if you go to church, there's people at church that will open up doors for you in ways that sometimes you can't do it the regular way through the system. And I'm just telling you this because it's the truth. Because there's some people that really do have a heart and they really want to help you, and they see that you have a heart and they see that you've learned your lesson, and they want to help you, give you another chance. So that's the good thing about going to church. It opens up that possibility and opportunity to you because there's a lot of people out there that are willing to do that because they want to help you and make an impact difference for you to help you to have a newer life, to give you a second chance. And that's what it's all about when you get rehabilitated from going to jail. And you want to have that, rehabilitation, and you want to keep continuing to do the right thing, do what you're supposed to do, make sure you report to your parole officer on time, make sure you do exactly what they tell you. If you have to go to a support group or go to a outsourced group that's outside of jail, where you have to do as a part of your sentence requirement, to fulfill it so you're fully rehabilitated, do exactly what they say, make sure you're there on time, and don't miss any appointments, and to make sure you always are there when you're supposed to be. And and always do the right thing. And even if some of them do treat you bad, you got to remember that you just you do what is required, and after that you won't have to deal with those people anymore. If they have a mean or if they have a complex about you, because sometimes cops can be really like that. They can be really hard nosed and mean and think you're going to go back into jail because of the type of crime you did. But that's not always true. But a lot of people normally do. And that's why I'm trying to discourage you to not to fall back into that modality. You don't want to go back to jail. You want to make your life better and better yourself so you don't go back to jail. Don't get back with your friends, the ones that influenced you, that pushed you down to get into these gangs. They got you into this mess in the first place because those people aren't going to help you. They didn't help you the first time, and they're sure not going to help you the second time except help you get back into jail by doing the same thing you did the first time. So don't go back to the thing that got you in trouble the first time because it's only going to get you in trouble or even worse the second time. You might get killed. So think about that. So Michael DeSilvis in the news. I love you. Stay strong, everybody. You all stay strong, convicts, and do the right thing. You reform now. Go out there and make a difference. Go out there and help people. Change lives. You're changed. You're a new person. Go out there and start making something good happen. And that'll help people, and that'll help your record too, and help people see that you have that in you to be good. And that will change what people think about you over time. Okay? Don't fall back into the old modality. It's Michael Sillis. I love you. God bless America. Let's stay free. All right. This is the end of our live broadcast.